may not like it when people take two words and smush them together to make a new word, as they did with Japandi, but I do like the result, which is a kind of rustic, kind of modern, very clean, very simple interior style, and we're going to talk about it right now. Hello everyone, Larissa here, and this video comes to you via Of Houses and Trees, where I blog about sustainable design, sustainable living, sustainable everything. I also have e-design, which is another way of saying online interior design. You can head on over to ofhousesandtrees.com/edesign and you can learn all about how I can work with you to pick sustainable furniture and decor for your home and greenify your interior space. Yes, greenify. Okay, so I wanted to talk about the interior style Japandi. You may have heard of it, you may not have. It's not uncommon at all to take different decor styles and blend them together. In fact, I would say it's pretty rare to find somebody who only has one decor style in their home, like just modern or just boho or just farmhouse. You know, it usually is something like rustic modern or boho coastal or multiple different things mixed together. Like for me, I got a little bit of rustic, I got a little bit of eclectic, I got a little bit of vintage, I got a little bit of modern, I got a little bit of industrial, I got a little bit of a lot of different things because that's how people are. Japandi, which is Japanese and Scandinavian decor blended together, is something that a lot of people are talking about lately. I wouldn't say that it's a new style because people have always been blending styles for as long as that's been a thing. But the term itself is sort of coming into popular use now. So in this video, I want to talk about what exactly is Japandi decor design, about Japandi design and sustainability, because of course that is my jam. Common materials to use in your home if you want to get that Japandi look, and places that you could find or buy the items to get the look. And I'm also going to show you some images of Japandi spaces so you can get some inspiration. So the country Japan and the Scandinavian countries might seem pretty far away geographically, but they actually have a lot in common as far as design aesthetics go. They both embrace minimalism, a love of natural objects and bringing nature into the home, and just wanting to create a very simple and clean and welcoming and warm sort of feeling in the home. And both of them really focus on function over, you know, ornate sort of unnecessary details. It's about keeping it simple, but not in a cold way, definitely in a warm and lovely kind of way. For the key elements of Japandi design, I've got 5 things I wanted to mention. So the first is simple, clean lines in furniture and any built-in elements. The furniture is usually handmade, it's well made, it's high quality, and sometimes it is kind of in a more of a lower profile, so it's a bit lower to the ground, which sort of gives the space that sort of more earthy, grounded feeling. The woods used in the space tend to be light toned or medium toned. Sometimes you may get something that's like a really dark, rich wood, or even like something that's been painted black, which I personally love because that gives that sort of modern pop, and it contrasts really nicely with all of the more natural earth-toned beiges and browns and off-whites. All of the textiles and the other materials used to decorate the space are going to be either nature-inspired or from nature. Another really important piece of the Japandi puzzle is allowing for there to be empty spaces. So not everything needs to be filled up. There might be a shelf that only has a few items displayed on it. There might be an empty corner. There might be a piece of wall that doesn't have artwork on it. Again, because Japandi is clean and simple, and it doesn't need to have things kind of shoved in your face to make a statement. Well, I always talk about how all design styles and all decor styles can be made more sustainable. Some of them make it easier than others, and Japandi is definitely one of them. Because Japanese and the Scandinavian designs and blended together as Japandi really focus on simplicity, natural items, things from nature. Those are all things that if you were going to be creating a more eco-conscious space, you would do those things anyway. So the sustainability portion and the aesthetic portion of the look, they really go hand in hand. There's no separating the two. Of course, there are more sustainable ways to even do Japandi than just that, which would be to buy things secondhand, which would be to buy from sustainable brands, to repurpose what you already have, to, you know, see what you can do to lessen your impact while you are creating the space. As for popular materials that you're going to want to be looking for, so this would be when you are out thrifting and antiquing and shopping, and also looking around your own home, because you should always shop your own space first. You're going to want to be looking for things made of wood, and not like, you know, the like MDF with like the fake like laminate wood on top. I'm talking about like real solid wood. You're going to be looking for things that are made out of bamboo and cane. As far as like pottery goes, clay, terracotta, porcelain, textiles like cotton and linen and muslin, which are all made from, you know, natural materials like flax or from cotton. You're also going to be looking for, surprise, things like concrete and glass and metal, which you might not think of as something that like is nature inspired, but there's definitely a simplicity to those materials. It kind of gives it that sort of slightly more modern and a little bit more of a clean touch. It sort of cools down the warmth, if I may say that. It just really gives that very nice balance that you would assume a Japandi space would have. I wanted to talk just a little bit about furniture ideas that you may want to pursue to create a Japandi space. For your sofa, you're definitely going to want to do something simple. Of course, if you already have a sofa that you like and that still works and is the right size, see what you can do to continue to use that. You could also look secondhand. That's where I got my sofa. Or you could look at a sustainable brand. You're going to want something that's got clean lines, something in a neutral color like an off-white, like a sandy beige, a gray, even something that's green if you want a little bit more color pop into the space and don't want to just be all neutral. You could even do black if you wanted to be a little bit more bold. For things like a dining table in a kitchen, a coffee table in the living room, maybe a dresser in your bedroom. Again, you're going to want something that's probably solid wood, very clean lines, no embellishments, and well made, because of course we don't want to be buying junky things and then having to replace them and throw them away. We want to buy things that are well made and that will last us for years and years and years. That's what people used to do. You know, they used to like buy furniture and then like pass it down through the generations of families. I mean, I have furniture that came from both mine and my husband's family members. And nowadays it's like you buy furniture and it's like, am I really going to be able to pass this on, or is it just going to fall apart? I want to get away from that. Let's try and go back to like that really well-made handcrafted stuff that has just lasted generations. For, you know, like accessories and decor that you're going to want to put throughout your space to give it that lived-in feel, because, you know, if everything is bare, you know, it doesn't really have that personality that you want to have in a home space. And of course, the personality should come from you bringing in things that you love, not things that you're told to buy or things that I'm telling you to buy right now. But I'm just giving you ideas in case you already own these or you see these when you're out and you're like, hey, that would really complement this Japandi space that I'm trying to curate. Things like bamboo bowls and trays, woven rugs, textural things like maybe like throw pillows or a bamboo lamp or like a paper lantern that gives that nice texture. Do you like how I'm doing this for texture? Things like framed drawings and sketches, especially if they are of natural elements, you know, leaves and trees, botanicals, flowers, animals, even some landscapes could potentially work, as long as it's not something that's too busy. You could also do abstracts. Abstracts are great for adding a modern pop to a space. I particularly love me a like black, white, and gray sort of abstract, or just an all black abstract. I think that that could work really great in a Japandi space. Back to what I said before about the concrete and the glass and the metal. You could put in some concrete planters. You could do some glass vases. You could do some matte black metal lamps and light fixtures, or like your picture frames could be like a matte black metal. Again, just to balance and give that little bit of the modern edge. And then the last topic that I wanted to touch on is how to get the look in your home. So of course, I've already given you lots of ideas, but let's recap. Shop your own home. What do you already have that goes with this aesthetic? Maybe you already have been creating this sort of a space and you didn't even realize it, and you just need to pull it all together. Or maybe you are not going in that direction at all and you want to do a little bit of a refresh, but see what you can keep, and then what you can't keep, sell it online, give it to friends, donate it. Don't throw it in the garbage. As long as it can still be salvaged, you know, somebody could potentially want it. And then you're gonna, of course, wanna go thrifting and antiquing. And if you don't find anything in those situations, then you're gonna wanna support a sustainable brand, or find somebody local who can make something for you handmade, or maybe you could even make it yourself. Something that I always talk about in Enough Houses and Trees and in my videos is that not only is being thoughtful and conscious about what you're choosing better for just the overall look and aesthetic of your home, to make your home something that you're proud of, something that you walk into and that you're like, but it's also important because it's the thing that gives your home character. When you don't have everything that everybody else has, or when you present things in a different way, or when you mix and match new things and old things, that's what gives your space that unique feeling that when people walk in, they're like, wow, this space feels like you. To me, that's like probably the biggest compliment that I can get, is when people come to my home and they're like, this home is you. Like, this is, it reflects you. This feels like you. Or another cool thing is I like when people, you know, ask me about stuff that I have and I get to tell them a cool story about it. I don't want my things to just be generic, because we're not generic people. Like, human beings are not generic. We are unique, special little snowflakes. Our homes should also be special snowflakes too, I think. And the last way that you could get the look of a Japandi space in your home is to let me help you with my e-design services. I actually recently just posted a Japandi design package up on my Etsy shop, which is where I list everything, but you also can view it on Of Houses and Trees as well. Go and see if there's something there that catches your eye. You could also just reach out to me and ask questions about that sort of stuff, because I am here to help. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot about Japandi style today and that it's giving you some things to think about. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Please excuse this little patch of sunshine here on my shoulder. The sun just decided to come out. How lovely. And eco-conscious items to bring in. What was I talking about?